Hey, we're rolling. We're rolling. This is take one here. Viewer discretion advised. This holy horseshit is enough to make anybody paranoid. So, yeah, I'm announced before. I'm Dina Titus's 2022 primary opponent. I announced early. I didn't actually want to also wholeheartedly endorse former Vice President and current Democratic candidate, former Vice President Joe Biden. It looks like there were a couple things that came up in the Washington Post. It looks like he got really upset, or somebody got really upset back there, and then maybe there were other people who were posting up videos during the convention. I wanted to let the former vice president know we've had issues with the TV companies getting word to me when I don't watch TV. How many multiple millions, hundreds, I mean tens, hundreds, what was it you paid for the convention coverage? What did your media company do for you? Absolutely nothing. I'm also going to show you something. I grew up originally in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that's the way we do politics out there in the Midwest. We go door to door, we shake hands. I talk to the merchants every day. I don't know if you noticed in my neighborhood, I've already been talking up Representative Dina Titus, and been talking up your candidacy around here. I wanted to let you know, too, I've gotten some skepticism from some of the black guys I know here in the community, and it's absolutely, they're scared. They're scared to back you. I wanted to let everybody know that I've talked to a couple of black nationalists, and one of the things they said is, well, they're, these guys are a little bit older, not as much with the times, but the thing about Joe Biden is you can negotiate with them. And the reason they're saying that is because Joe Biden's another economic nationalist. Now, I'm a globalist, but it doesn't mean that I can't get behind the right guy. I mean, we don't have to agree about everything in life. Doesn't mean I don't back his candidacy. And I'm going to say the same thing with Representative Titus as we go through the primary. I mean, you're not going to agree with some of the things I got to say, but we're going to agree about the important stuff, particularly, domestic violence and raising domestic violence awareness. But I'm also going to take that extra step and say domestic violence victims need that universal basic income to stay healthy and stable in life and be able to leave their partners or leave abusive situations, period, with at least a little bit of cash. I mean, right now, the way the system's set up is if you gotta go and live on absolutely nothing and come up, we're going to put you in a homeless shelter, which I see these places as concentration camps. Government forces you in there and denies you any privacy to have sex until you work. I'm permanently disabled. Like I said, I've got paranoid and schizophrenia. I've also said, on the previous video, that I have diabetes. I can't get forced into essential services agency. Plus, I'm a 45-year-old glorified intern over here with the master's degree and the double major. Say for instance, I talked to Jeff over at the Washington Post. The reason I do that is so I'm not directly talking to his reporters. Now, on one hand, if I go over into their newsroom at the Washington Post and applied for a job, man, I'm more than the lowest intern. I gotta hand them their coffee. But on the other hand, I can't be seen interfering with their contracts with no money. And basically, coming in there and screwing with Jeff Bezos' business. Same thing with the Times. Same with, and it creates an interesting issue in the campaign when you got a guy who's a member of the media actually running for office. Like, what do you do then? Who owns that media company because he's a sole proprietor? So the way it is, I've been in a small business administration proceeding. I'm not going to take any public money for it. I mean, a small business administration, I just, if you get there and get in touch with them, you give one of the federal banks a couple extra points and you can peel off, so you don't have to use any private financing for your $1 million startup. And I'm kind of like Andrew Yang. I'm playing my dues. And he's somebody I backed. I want to also say I backed Elizabeth Warren. I backed Bernie Sanders, although I broke with him for Elizabeth Warren early in my support over the spring. Just simply because, Elizabeth Warren's really in favor of taking care of housing issues. I got family members who threaten me all the time, kind of distant family members who threaten me over this housing all the time. We don't want to do this.